We are in the final, ladies and gentlemen. The first game between mYinsanity and Nexo. A best of 5. And starting to the left side, we have Nexo starting up here in blue with Vortex on the Tigers, Lucifron on the Arthurs, the brothers, Paltan on Tassadar, Grand Paquette on the Brightwing, Lolver60 playing the Carrigan here. The Spaniards going up against Team mYinsanity, starting to the right side in red with Shinobu on the Falstad, with Araragi on the Zeratul, Freds on the Anuburak, Lowell on the Reina, and Ace of Spades on the Uther. Right now we have, for mYinsanity, not really a lot of like tank potential there. Only the Anuburak, the only like frontliner that they really have. Everybody else will try to dodge those fights, and oh my god, it's a little bit of a staring contest. Look at that. 3 heroes, 4 heroes, they are so close. They don't see each other. If Lucifron just moves a bit more to the right, or Freds moves to the left, they're gonna see the setup, but they don't. It's actually like kind of funny if you think about it, but I guess in the end not too much is gonna happen here. We have a Carrigan picked up by by Nexo, and that of course is in the early game extremely strong. Carrigan, a favorite combo hero for the Arthurs for early roaming. Carrigan Arthurs is just amazing. The Ravage jumps in, you go for the stun lockdown, and then you always have to follow up with the Arthurs to go straight for the Howling Blast. And that kills many a hero, but we have all 4 of them just doing nothing. They're waiting for something to happen here, and it's absolutely hilarious if you ask me. There we go, we have them jumping in. Lowell is being jumped upon. Oh, and he goes down, but Lucifron is dropped as well. It's a kill for a kill, and after we've seen that staring contest for nearly a minute now, we suddenly have them in a position where they just exchange 1 kill and then everything is being reset. So down to the mid lane we have Paltan going up against Ace of Spades. The bans this time, we had a ban of course once again on the Abathar, no surprise here. We have them already moving it up to the top, by the way, for the seats. And Lucifron and Lolver60 are getting the left side. But this time we don't have that traditional split between top and bottom. Instead, we have another opportunity maybe for them to take down Lowell. Oh, he's getting Primal Grasp, and that's the problem when you play Reina. Not a lot of escape mechanisms that you can use to your advantage. Vala has her vault, the barrel roll and the false that helps him to survive ganks like this. But there's nothing on the Reina except for the Inspire, which gives him a bit of an speed advantage, but that's about it. Oh, our Ragi is starting to attack Grand Paquette here. The former Existence player is having a bit of trouble, but moves back. So far the Zeratul doesn't want to risk dying himself. But we have now 74 seats already taken by Nexo. And Nexo with their rotations moving into the middle. Once again, Lolver60, does he get the Primal Grasp? He does! He does get the stun combo, but the Primal Grasp hits! But at the end of the day, Ace of Spades survives. Is about to be back, as down here we have seats taken by our Ragi, and the team Lolver60 is looking for the Reina again. Lowell seems to be in trouble here, is moving back, gets even polymorphed, but gets away. Ace of Spades with the healing just in the last second, saving his ass. And well, level 6 nearly already for Nexo. Nexo has played mYinsanity already once. It's a few months back, and back then we had another Rocket versus Sphere, actually versus Sphere Invitational, and in the final those 2 teams met, and we had from the losers bracket Nexo moving in, and they had to win 2 best of 3s, and they were able to do that without dropping a single map. They 4-0'd mYinsanity, and mYinsanity back then was dominating Europe completely. So Nexo, with the 2 brothers leading the charge, Lucifron and Vortex, is an extremely strong team here, and they are showing that again. Shinobu doesn't stand a chance, and that is the strength of Arthur's Carrigan in the early game. Carrigan is a hero that she had her place in the meta like some time ago, but she's not being played that often any longer. The problem with the Carrigan usually is that first of all her Primal Grasp range got nerfed a bit, so it's way harder for her later in the game to really have an impact on the team fights, because what you were relying on just heavily is her getting a Primal Grasp on the 3, 4, 5 heroes and using that with her stun. Now we still see her played every now and then, but she's not as dominant in the meta any longer, but especially in the early game she's still super strong. Of course, mainly because there you only want to get like your individual kills, and that's where we have Kerrigan already moving in once again. And with those kills, they get an advantage. It's 3 kills versus 1. That gives them nearly an entire level that they have on their opponent. Looks like Lowell was thinking about getting the hard camp here together with the Zeratul, but they abandoned that idea super quickly. The mercenary camps that have been taken up there to the top were taken down by Paltan by now. We have, in terms of seats, a slight advantage here for mYinsanity. Nothing really to write home about, but still something where you can say, okay, the second night is gonna go a bit easier for us since we only have to take 3 seats. And I mean, those 3 seats, you're gonna get them even if you just stumble across that stuff. So Vortex at the top lane is currently taking the experience. We have a bit of a jump onto the Anubarak, but Frats is paying attention, is not getting stun locked, and they're trying to get the hard camp. An immediate rotation by Vortex is assisting with that, and Paltan drops another stun there, so they're gonna steal the Knights, and the Knights will start pushing in that fort up at the top. Frats of course has to take care of that, but we have another camp taken down at the bottom left for mYinsanity, and those mercenaries actually might even be the better choice here compared to the Knights. But yeah, they're moving in and trying to drop those. Level 10 is there on the board for El Nexo, and that's of course where mYinsanity just basically is a flying pig here, Shinobu. Oh god, that was a good one. Yeah, so level 10 is already there, and that gives El Nexo a bit of control of the map, the dominance that they have now for the next fight. But mYinsanity is of course not trying to fight, they're just like standing there trying to close the experience gap as fast as they can so that they can fight on even footing, which is exactly the idea behind this. So level 10 versus level 10 right here. And Ace of Spades, are they going for the seats? They are not. They're actually in position right now, and Araragi moves in, and there's the 3 seats that they need. Up to the top we have Vortex and El Nexo making sure that they're gonna get a plant as well in this second night. Oh, LOL versus XD is just pushing Frats back. But there was a nice steal of additional seats that they had, so it's a slight advantage that they get through this, but it's something that counts in the end, I guess. The Brightwing down here is still an opportunity when he can jump up to the top. Well, we don't have a lot of fighting going on. Let us take a quick look at the talents that we see. The Maelstrom, of course, for the Kerrigan. Shock and Awe was already used, but didn't drop the Brightwing down at the bottom. Talking about the Brightwing, he just jumped down together with a Zeratul. Reyna's Raiders are already gone. They were really just trying to drop it as fast as possible. But that's a pretty cool position for El Nexo right now. They're getting the second plant. Yeah, look at that. They actually get those additional seeds. And that is going to become a very, very nice position for them to go into the third night. But we're not talking about the third, we're talking about the second. The plant is ready, and Kerrigan is going to get it. We have Lowell already on the plant, moving in and starting to do some damage at the front. The pots are being dropped. We have down to the bottom lane, Grand Paqueta still with Shinobu, but oh, Araragi is there. Brightwing speeds himself up, and nice move. Really good move here by Grand Paqueta. I like that. Well done. So we have to the top lane now, LOL versus XD starting to push the lane in versus Lowell, at least protecting it. That's the idea behind that. And Lowell actually like locked down by the Howling Blast, and Lowell is getting pushed back for now. So we have right now Vortex and the rest of this team just in a position where they try to defend versus the plant, trying to maybe push with their own. It's this plant versus plant battle where both of them are just basically negating each other. It's more about like what the rest of the heroes do on the map. And they are trying to aim for the Brightwing here. They didn't get him earlier, and they're trying to take him down now, with even Ace of Spades moving in. Wow, they're dropping everything, going for the stun now. But look at that quick jump. Grand Paqueta is really on top of things right now. That didn't do anything for mYinsanity. And up at the top, we still have El Nexo pushing with the plant on their own right now, going straight towards that fort, and they are going to get that. It's level 13 versus 13, still 3 kills against 1, and the lone Brightwing down here is still defending that fort. Like, he's a hero. He's a Spartan warrior trying to take that, I should say probably a Spanian warrior, but be it as it may, great job by him not getting picked off here. He did that extremely well, buying his team a lot of time to not only drop the fort up at the top, but at the same time then also get into an advantageous position for the next plant. We have 111 seats still for Team El Nexo, so they get a second plant of this that they can utilize now that the first plant is gone, and that already puts a lot of pressure on mYinsanity. mYinsanity is, as it is already, in a very dangerous spot since they are down one level, which might not make a huge difference when you're looking at a 13 level on your own, but still, if you're then up against the second plant, that suddenly changes things a lot, especially since we have the knights now pushing in down to the bottom lane. That Kerrigan with the second plant that we see here can then immediately just try to push one of the other lanes and do even more damage. So you have more lanes pushing in, you bind heroes on certain lanes and free up space on the other ones that you can move in. At this point, we currently have Paltan and the rest of the team starting to move into the middle and dropping those mercenaries already even before the plant arrives. LOL versus XD is going straight for that. Down at the bottom lane, 3 heroes looking at the Brightwing. They really hate that guy, don't they? Like, that Brightwing is what they really hate. And he jumps away again! This time they get him. They finally get the Brightwing, and oh my god, especially the Zeratul be pissed right now. He's like, alright, I'm done with you. You little, like, fairy dragon thingy, you go down, and you go down now. Oh, the attempt to drop Paltan here. Ace of Spades moves in, and we should see an immediate phase shift. Yeah, dimension shift being used. He moves back. I'm not really sure if I like those Void Prisms from Araragi in that situation. He dropped that now twice, always trying to combo it with a stun from the Uther, but every single time they just got heroes that have escape mechanisms on their own and use them fast enough to not really get any damage in. So yeah, it's a little bit iffy, I feel. I mean, for now we have, with the plant, they're taking seeds up at the top right now. It's still level 16 that they're going to get faster. And there it is already. So 16 for them. And down to the bottom lane, we of course we see basically the same scenario right now for them. Trying to get that advantage now with, or like, making up for that advantage that El Nexo had earlier by getting a plant on their own. So we will see that scenario where suddenly mYinsanity has a plant and El Nexo doesn't. But now we still have a 16 versus 15, and that means goodbye for it. It should at least. Like, does mYinsanity really want to fight here? Yes, apparently they do. And Lucifron is in trouble. The healing ward is there. He heals himself with the Army of the Dead, and he's still alive. But Ace of Spades suddenly gets wrecked in the face and goes down. As also, yep, there goes the Anubarak. And a quick blink by Aragi saves his ass, at least for now. Oh, the Uther is still going strong against Lucifron. But we have him with a shield now. The Tassadar is helping out there a lot. And, well, another problem that they have at this point is that they are going to take the plant while 2 of their heroes are still down. So that is going to become pretty tricky as well. So they will lose time on the plant in which they can't do anything. Araragi is now in a situation where he should also move back and heal, I guess, because if one of those heroes, like if Vortex moves in with a grenade and throws it at Araragi, then he's gonna die instantly. And Shinobu is actually in an extremely bad spot, and he's gonna die for sure. He has no chance there. He was already in on cooldown on the barrel roll, and now that plant, I don't want to say it's wasted, but it doesn't unfold its full potential at all. First of all, Araragi has still to heal. That costs them precious seconds. One hero is down, and now the entire El Nexo team is just rotating down to the bottom and starting to attack that plant, starting to save the fort. So a very, very good maneuver there that we saw by El Nexo. They get that kill. And, I mean, you can argue about if it was a bit sloppy by mYinsanity or if it was just, like, extremely well played by El Nexo. At the end of the day, they get the kill, and that allows them now to push the plant back, even drop it low in HP. But that's, of course, a very nice move that they made there. So, mYinsanity maybe trying a bit too much, getting that hard cap with the 2 heroes that were in a bit of an exposed position. But, oh, there comes that Void Prism again, and this time it could actually work out really well. But the Odin already popped on Vortex. LOL versus 60, the immediate initiation against it with a Shock and Awe as well, and he goes down. Kerrigan is out of the loop. Shinobu in the back is extremely low. Vortex is trying to go for him, but he can't catch him. Army of the Dead is not there. He's healing himself up, though. But we have LOL dropping out of the plant just a second later, but still, it's a good trade for them. 1 hero kill, didn't lose a single one in that engagement, and that's all that they get from this plant. But they still don't want to engage into this, because we still have that entire level for El Nexo. El Nexo is an insanely good team, and we see right now why that is. But mYinsanity, those boys have a lot of experience with this game too. They are scrimming against all of these teams a lot, and they know how to come back from a disadvantageous position. And just one team fight can turn things around there in a flash. 6 kills against 3. mYinsanity trying to steal the Knights, but Lucifer and this team are already in position to go in. Here comes the Howling Blast. They're going for Freds, and they're contesting the Knights. Here come Raiders once again, but Anubarak is dead. The Knights stolen, taken by El Nexo, and they get the primal grasp on the Uther. Drop him now too. 2 heroes down, and it couldn't be worse timing for mYinsanity. The Knight has just fallen, and that means all those camps are gonna be taken. Araragi jumps in, tries to take at least a few seats, but they're at 57. Up here we just had Shinobu fly in, but Lolver60 is a second too slow to drop him or get him into a stun lock. But they take the small camps. And now they even go straight for the big ones. They already have a plant growing, and the more they take now, the more seeds they get, the higher the chance that they are getting a double plant behind this. Down there, Araragi is trying to contest it, but we still have heroes up at the top doing the same thing there. Kerrigan is moving down, and we have Anubarak back to business, but he's of course still in the base. He needs to cross half the map to come to this position if they really want to contest it. Up to the top, what about Lucifer here? He still hasn't dropped the plant yet. Oh, they have 27 seconds also to grab the plant back at home, so that's another thing that they need to do. They want to deny as many seats as possible to the opponent's team. Up here at the top, Lucifer and Vortex, the brothers! Oh my god, Vortex is dropped, and Lucifer is maybe going to die as well. Araragi jumps in. Lucifer barely survives. Araragi might be in trouble. No, he gets healed. But yeah, the Spanish brothers overextending their welcome for a bit too long. We still have another plant completely possible for El Nexo. Plant into plant. The nightmare on this map. That's exactly what you're trying to avoid. We have one plant also growing for mYinsanity, but still, they are looking at level 18 versus 19, and at this point in the game, the levels come in pretty slow. So what we're gonna see here is, of course, once again, mYinsanity trying to just defend for as long as they can, especially against the second plant. I'm not even talking about plant number 1 here, because that one is going to expire in just another 50 seconds, and we have the Tigers still down for another 10. But the second plant, that's going to become extremely tricky. And so far we still have 3 forts, top, middle and bottom, available to take for mYinsanity. That's, first of all, it's great for El Nexo, because it means that if mYinsanity wants to move in, they are going to lose a lot of time dropping those forts. But it also means that we have the potential for 6,000 experience points grabbed by mYinsanity by taking those forts down. And if that's the case, then they might close the distance in experience. So it's a bit of a like, I don't know if it's like a good situation or a bad situation. I guess it's better to have those forts up, but it's of course also something that you need to think about if you want to judge how fast the team can catch up in experience. And if you drop 3 forts and maybe get 1 or 2 kills, then you will close that experience gap in just a second. So the first plant is gone. Oh, immediately the avoid prison there. Ace of Spades moves in. Does he get the stun? And no, he doesn't. Oh wow, Ace of Spades didn't really get anything done there. He moves in and stuns in the last second. Lucifer is being attacked, but up at the top we have the Uther dropped there, and once again Lucifer starting to move in. That fort is still alive, by the way, and Kerrigan is polymorph, but she's looking for an opportunity to jump in and do some damage there. Close the distance with the Ravage and then go straight for the stun comp. So far she didn't get close enough. The plant is growing. They might miss the plant. They're losing the plant. I don't think they can get it anymore. They have to be back immediately. Oh, this is gonna be so close. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and it's gone. No! No, okay, sorry, it was growing. Oh, my bad. Oh, now I feel like an idiot. Yeah, that, okay, I actually thought that it was like expiring already. From all that action and all those kills, I really thought it was expiring. Okay, my bad. So the second plant comes in, but we have the 20 on the board now for El Nexo. They lost 1 fort here, but just look at that. We have even the Storm Shield being taken right now, the Twilight Archon, the big red button. If you have Archon and Odin available, you can do a lot of damage there. So they are starting to move into the middle right now, and I don't think they're gonna be yeah, happy with just taking the wall. They want to have the keep now. Right wing already jumped in up at the top. Zeratul is apparently looking for him, but he needs to move back now. With an 18-minute plant, 18 minutes into the game, those plants do a lot of damage, and they're just like waiting for another opportunity to drop those, yeah, that wall and go in. And they have a lot of their heroic abilities down now. That's another thing you need to take into consideration. Especially Vortex doesn't have the Odin anymore. So here comes Lolver60, moves in with another polymorph attempt and starts to at least drop the well. Well goes down, and they still want to look at the keep. Actually, now it's night again, so they could also move back and try to take seats once more. There comes another attempt. Nice polymorph on Ace of Spades. Oh, the Howling Blast hitting too. But look how that plant is doing damage. I mean, the keep is already halfway down and the plant just like doesn't give a shit and just hammers away. Takes all the punches that are dished out by mYinsanity. Nexo dropping the keep. And now the rest of the team moves up to the top and starts to take those seats right over there. So it's once again a bit of a split that they have. And I guess right now with the plant even being dropped, they're gonna get those seats extremely fast. But down to the bottom lane, we have now mYinsanity also with the same move, trying to get as many as they can. I just think that with the plant there as well, it's probably gonna be a bit of a faster gathering that we see from Nexo. The only question is, will they be able to move down to the bottom and maybe catch a few of the opponent's seats there? Oh, and talking about it, we have actually the Zeratul still being around. I'm not quite sure if there's a D still available on Paltan, if he has the Oracle, but he's still there. It's one plant that we see for Nexo. Are we going to see a plant as well for mYinsanity? I'm not quite sure how many seats they have. It's close. Oh, but it's not close enough. This is bad. This is really bad now. One plant for Nexo and mYinsanity will have the level 20, but they will not have a plant to counter this. And 20 minutes in, like an 18-minute plant is already like brutal, but a 20-minute plant is absolutely crazy. So this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a lot. Oh, and of course, mYinsanity knows that as well. If they got a kill early, then maybe it would be a different scenario, but now with the 5 versus 5 and one hero being in the plan, this is gonna get tricky, especially since the lanes are all pushing in. They're moving out and trying to de-push them as fast as they can, but all the lanes are pushing for Nexo. They did a great job with like coordinating their attacks and the camps that they took with the move, with the plant, to just like have all of that pushing in at the same time. So there's so much pressure on the team right now. It's 9 kills against 4. Nexo, the Spanish Armada, is moving in with the Odin. They go straight for the core. Here comes the stun by Ace of Spades. The drop against Lucifer. Arthur's is dead, but he has Resurgence up. He's gonna move in. Great defense so far by mYinsanity. Odin and Archon are doing their damage to the core. They're just trying to core it down to 70%. And Paltan is nearly dead. Lolver60 about to drop out of the plant, but it's only 20% more that they need to dish out. Lolver60 is doing it solo. He's taking it. No, he drops out, and oh no, 1%, and it goes down. Oh my god. Kerrigan nearly died there, but it is Nexo. They win game number 1 in the finals here in the best of 5 series versus mYinsanity. Game number 2 is on. We're looking at the best of 5 final here at the Rockout vs Sphere Invitational between mYinsanity and Nexo. Nexo is ahead in the series with a 1-0. We have the second map now, and as you can see, it is of course Garden of Terror once again. The map can be picked twice. To the left side we have mYinsanity with Araragi on the Reyna, with Shinobu on the Tychus, Freds on Arthur's, Ace of Spades playing the Brightwing, and we have Lowell on the Illidan. To the right side of the map, it is Nexo in red, the Spanish Armada with Vortex on the Tacita, Lucifer on Tyrael, Paltan is playing the Falstad, Gran Paquete, the Uther, and LOL versus XD on the Nubarak. So this time we're going straight into that game again, and don't be surprised boys, this is the exact same map, but the teams are allowed to do that, so we can see a map twice in this series. And well, let's find out who is actually going to win this one. Currently, Nexo is ahead 1-0 in the series. So if they win it once again, then they would be one map away from total domination and from taking the Rocket vs. Sphere final against their opponent here. Both teams have played incredible good games this weekend, but now we have Nexo in a bit of a lead. The Spaniards, they are about to do it again, are they? We have in the mid lane Lowell and Vortex going up against each other, with the Nubarak moving in and trying, of course, to do a bit of counter damage. The immediate ban that we saw in this game was the Zeratul and the Abathas, our first bans, and then later on in the ban system it was once more the Rhaegar that was banned out to force the Brightwing from mYinsanity here. Frats needs to be careful. Set Brightwing is jumping in now and saves Frats for now. They're really starting to contest that camp here. It's actually going to become a 4 vs 4 as Paltan flies in now as well. Vortex is extremely low and Illidan is jumping in already. Oh, but Paltan is ganged from 4 angles and goes down first. He is already eliminated. Vortex is about to be dropped too, and suddenly mYinsanity going straight for Lucifer now, who jumps back in the last second. The seats are already grabbed by mYi. They still could take that camp over here. One of those giants is just cowering there and is apparently still afraid that he's being hit, but the other one is still alive and kicking. So right now we have 2 kills for mYinsanity, a great start for them into the series. They have a slight lead in experience now as well. But to the top lane, Lucifer is trying to negate that as fast as he can. And they actually have like a second hero in the mid lane now. Vortex is gathering up experience there for his team. To the bottom lane, we see the Falstad. So in terms of experience gain, we see Nexo doing a much better job right now. But that's also, of course, because we have a higher priority for the mYinsanity boys now when it comes to the seeds. They already have a plant growing. And we have now the rotation down to the bottom lane where we have a big terror attack for the seeds, but Lowell is about to jump in and Shinobu is there too. We have Brightwing jumping in the last seconds. This is not going to be a plant for Nexo. This is not going to happen. They're trying to at least get a few seeds, and there we go. Gets 60 and moves out. So actually, like, well done by them. They have the lead in experience, like a pretty significant one at that, and they have gathered quite a lot of seeds, but the plant is still there for their opponent's team. The thing is, though, that the early plant is usually not all that strong, so you can make up for that if you have good rotations on the map. You can try to minimize the damage quite easily. Oh, leashed, and that moves away, so they don't get the hard camp here. That's a bit of a surprise. Apparently they thought that Nexo was moving in and trying to contest it. But yeah, with the hard camp leashed, they cannot push on double lane now with it. We have Lowell moving down to the bottom lane. That forces out a rotation from Nexo to meet the plant and trying to drop it in experience. Lowell vs 60 can use with a stun here. Vortex is there already as well, and they go ham on that thing. They go immediately straight for it and don't really care for those pots at all. Vortex is being attacked. Oh, there's the polymorph against Paltan. But another attack against Lowell, and he's getting stunned and stunned and stunned and always trying to move back in. To the top lane, we have now the push with 3 heroes for mYi. That's where they have their biggest push going right now. Just because they could force the rotation to the bottom lane with a plan, they have now the potential to push in the top and at least drop the wall. Not sure if they're gonna get the fort here. I highly doubt it, to be honest with you. But yeah. Here comes once again the move against Paltan this time. Oh, that was so close and so damn good. He wells up and moves away. Nice save there on the hero. But just look at that experience. Even with everything that just happened right now, we still have a position for Nexo where they are ahead in experience, and quite significantly at that. So job really well done. They drop Lowell out of the plan as well, and that defense was a great one. Currently, Nexo is in the lead in the best of 5 series. They have taken the first game. It's a 1-0, and therefore mYinsanity is under a bit of pressure. I mean, you can lose another game there, of course, but you don't want to be down 2 games. That just puts you under way too much pressure there. Ace of Spades is trying to move back, and he escapes. Job well done by the Brightwing here. Looking at the talents, now that we hit level 7 for both of the teams, we have a focus on Storm for the Tacita. We have also bribe stacks for Brightwing and for the Falstad, with the Illidan going for the standard build. First 8 here on the 7, the same also for his opponent. Reyna going for the Searing attack build with the advanced range, and on the first level Give Me More, which is kind of the basic standard build that you see from most Reina players being taken. There are a couple of variations that you can have. Lead the front is sometimes being improved as well, just so that you can use your W a bit more, go for the Inspire, and then also your Q shot. But still, it's the standard build that we currently see from Araragi. So 2 kills against 0, that's still the count here. The Knight fell, and therefore we have the seeds in 20 seconds appearing on the map again, up for grabs. Bottom lane is pushing in hard for mYinsanity with 4 players and a Knight camp, so this wall is gonna drop. And once that's going to be the case, the fort is being pressured, which kind of pins Paltan down. And he won't be able to get any seats there. But we already have the rest of the Nexo team moving in, trying to go for Freds. Here comes the double stun. Here has the Uther for stun follow-up as well. Freds is extremely low. The level 10 is already there for Team Nexo. And that drops then in the end the Arthurs as the Tyrael judgments in and takes him on. Good use of the heroic ability, turning it into an early 4 versus 5 and forcing mYinsanity back. mYinsanity, of course, now going for the level 10 as well. That's why we see Shinobu with a grenade in the mid lane before he moves to the top to try and get those seeds. But we have a lot of seeds already gathered up by Nexo, and especially Lucifer up at the top with the Tyrael was doing quite a good job at that, considering that down here at the bottom there's still a small camp to be taken. Level 11 versus level 10 now. And we still have, at this point, the entire plant being dropped here by Nexo. So it's currently, yeah, it's one plant against oh no, actually they get enough. They just barely get enough. It's going to be plant versus plant. Alright, so the battle is on. That camp doesn't really do anything there. They stole it though, so the Brightwing moving in and bribing it, that helped them a lot to just make sure that later on Nexo can't get that. That's basically the only thing that they got from that. But that's enough. That's all that they had to do. They get another camp at the top, which is going to push in. The plants are already on the map. This wall is pretty much pushed in with the gate already falling, but the 2 towers are still there. So it's plant for plant, but we see Paltan moving down to the bot lane and trying to just put some pressure onto that, deplete the ammunition on the towers, forces the reaction of the rest of the team now. They are moving in, but he can simply fly up to the top lane, or will have to defend that fort. Actually, I don't think he can. He's trying to push them back, but good move here by mYinsanity. A good call, just to move down, get those 2,000 experience, close the gap in XP as much as they can. And the only thing that they had to sacrifice for that was a few hit points on Lowell's plant, and that's about it. So not really a big deal. But Shinobu is pressured by LoL versus XD. The plant battle is becoming reality. No extra talent on either one of those players or teams, so we still see the more aggressive moves by Nexo. They're starting to move in towards the wall here and are starting to drop those towers. The first one about to be gone. Shinobu is trying to prevent that as much as he can, but there comes another nice move and polymorphs Shinobu. Really well done by Nexo here. Good moves from them, and Lowell has to be extremely careful. Like, he's nearly out of HP on that thing. And they lose another tower, and the entire team is being pushed farther and farther back. And look at that experience bar. Level 13 is going to hit any second, and with that, they will have an extra talent, so they could just jump straight into the team fight. Another problem that they have is that Lowell's plan is going to be gone in 2 seconds, and we have another 8 then on LoL vs 60 that he could use to maybe push that fort in the middle after all. Now they're moving back for now. They are covering their retreat with another polymorph attempt. LoL vs 60 with a stun against Arthurs, but yeah. The team moves back for now. 13 versus 12. Lucifer is still in position. He could initiate with a judgment, and of course you always want to follow that up with a false stat. The combo between the Tyrael judgment and the false stat ultimate is amazing, especially when you can move in with the Anubarak afterwards and with the Uther to go for a complete stun lock against one hero and just drop him. You turn it into a 4 versus 5, and that will allow you to gain so much momentum in the battle itself. The fort is still their target. They're still moving forward for it, and they have 2 mercenaries now pushing that into. There's no way mYinsanity can really save that, but they're trying to take down Grandpa Kette on the Uther, and Reina's Raiders are coming in as well. That's a ton of DPS that they have there. The initiation against them. Here comes the shock and awe, but that did not, well, oh my god, they dropped 3, they dropped 4, they take down the Illidan, the Brightwing. Look at that massacre there. Only Shinobu survives, the fort goes down, and they can actually rotate either to the top or bottom and take another one easily. Like, that was an absolute disaster for mYinsanity. They lost 4 heroes in that last engagement. Extremely well played and coordinated by Nexo in that last battle, and that just didn't work out well. The initiation with Lucifer moving in, the stuns that we saw from the rest of the team. Now Nexo is set up already to take the additional seeds, and before we even have the entire team for mYinsanity back in the game, they already have a plant growing. They already have those 100 seeds that they need, and we see them moving in now against that plant in the middle, against the big shamblers there. And look at how mYinsanity is trying to catch up here. They just start, and at that time we have this one up here nearly dropped, so we could see Nexo moving down to the bottom and trying to contest it. They already move in with the plant. Up to the top it is Brightwing on Ace of Spades trying to gather up some more experience, because they are looking at a disadvantage that is absolutely crazy. 15 versus 14, that 16 talents is going to hit so hard. The plant down here has been taken, but it's still a disadvantage for mYinsanity. 63 versus 76, so even the next night is going to be better for Nexo, of course. So, moving down to the bottom right now, we currently have the pots taking down the towers. We're going straight for that. Brightwing is still not going to the bottom lane. He's still trying to pressure the top here. I guess he can, but it's going to take an eternity for them to really get anything done with that. That plant is starting to immobilize the, well, not really immobilize, but to make the fort useless, and you can see how fast it loses the experience there. Brightwing up at the top can do whatever he wants, but he's going to take another minute to really drop this one, and by that time they will have lost the keep. So Ace of Spades really needs to start moving back. I think they need him here. They really need him. I mean, that wall is dropping, and mYinsanity, they still try to hold that, but there's another 30 seconds on the plant, and it's half HP. The Brightwing wants to get that forward. He really wants it, and they're going for that, but they really might lose too much. They might lose too much for it. Already the keep is on half HP. The Brightwing still not moving in, and the keep is going to fall. They're going to exchange the keep for the fort. Now all that Nexo has to do is to move back with their heroes. That's what they're currently doing. The top fort has been taken, but I don't think that they care too much about that. I guess in the end mYinsanity just decided that they are going to lose their keep anyways, and would rather take a fort in exchange than doing nothing at all. 17 versus 15. The extra talents here already taken for Nexo. We have, by the way, on Arthur's once more the spell shield. We have Brightwing this time with the ice block. I personally think that Ice Block is a horrible ability and is probably the worst in the entire game. I've never seen a single Ice Block that resulted in the hero that used it to survive and not being dropped. It, like in 90% of 95% of the situations, it just delays the inevitable. So I personally don't like the ability at all. But when a player like Ace of Spades takes it, there is definitely a thought process behind it. So let's see if he can actually use that talent and, yeah, turn it into an asset. So far I always feel that it has been a great liability in most of the games and not really done anything. I guess he's the target of a focus with shock and awe. He can use it real quick to dodge that, and maybe even dodge a judgment if we see Nexo trying to take Brightwing down. That might be an option, but so far haven't really seen that just yet. Level 18 soon to be versus, yeah, there it is, versus 16. Both teams now using their mercenaries and trying to just like pressure lanes, push those in. We have the rotation up to the top. mYinsanity is actually moving back for now. They might have the 16 talent, but they probably don't really feel too happy about going up against a team that has a 2-level lead. Those stats are kicking in pretty hard as well. Berserk is already there for Araragi on the Reina, and we have a double stone skin as well, so that makes at least the Tigers and the Arthurs a bit beefier. To the right side of the map, we have still another mercenary camp taken out. So with this, we don't have any mercenaries left for the taking, except for the one up to the top left. That's the only one. So it looks like both teams are just like waiting for the seeds to spawn again, and there they are. But the setup for mYinsanity, they want to drop 1 or 2 heroes here, and they move in against LolVer60. Oh my god, polymorphed and killed within an instant. And here comes the Illidan right now. You are never gonna run away from an Illidan. That's not gonna happen. Goodbye, Grand Paquette. Goodbye. There we go. Grand Paquette is down, and with 1 terror growing, it isn't even too bad for Nexo if you think about it. They still get a lot of the seeds up at the top, and as long as they can prevent their opponent's team from getting double plant, it's fine. And they are already taking a lot of the seeds from the top plant here, with Paltan doing the damage with Lucifon, so they have to move back eventually, since we see the rest of the team now moving in. But that should be enough seeds for them, at least for now. So good job by Nexo. But of course, there is definitely a bit of a comeback potential here for mYinsanity now. 4 kills versus 5, so in regards to the kill count, they're actually not looking at a bad position. We have another push up here at the top, with those towers now being pressured hard. Both teams have a plan ready, and the bribe against the mercenaries that we pointed out a bit earlier. So, there we go. Takes the second one. The towers are nearly gone. Both of them are actually nearly dead. I think both of them will just barely survive. But yeah, 15 seeds remaining for Nexo now that they move in with their plant. How many are we going to have for the opponent's team, for mYinsanity? It's 68 actually. So still very, very close. We're talking 15-minute plant here. So those are still going to do some damage, and that plant has to move back into the middle now. They need the plant to defend, and that's where they are right now. So it's going to be plant versus plant again, but the wall apparently given up. They're trying to flank in from the side. And are they going to get an angle? No, they are not getting the opportunity here. We have Shinobu and Araragi, the two StarCraft assassins, doing whatever they can to keep the plant at bay. Another pot is dropping at least one of them. Here come the attempt to polymorph from both players, from both plants. Freds is moving in with a Howling Blast. 19 versus 18, still the level. The initiation against Freds, and bam, goodbye. That combo is just so brilliant. Very well done by the Tyrael, and of course the false stat here. And they drop another one. They drop the Reyna as well. Without escape mechanisms, he doesn't stand a chance. Paltan is being hunted down by Lowell, but even now the polymorph on Lowell, and that hit home. Now suddenly Shinobu is moving in with a quick overkill, and he's dropping the false stat. The Uther is already dead, so suddenly it's a 2-for-2 that we see here. But LoL versus XT is still on the plan, and he's starting to chase Shinobu. The Illidan is on the hunt. He's going straight for Vortex here, and Vortex is not going to survive that. You cannot run away from an Illidan. That just doesn't happen. But on the other hand, we have Oh, is he healed by the Brightwing? Shinobu's healed by the Brightwing, and Vortex actually zoned him out. Nice dodge that we saw here from Vortex. He's still there, and that kill against the Tiger's kill, but Tassadar pays with his life for this one. The stun against Lowell, and I don't think that Illidan is going to make it or really be able to just jump away in the last second. Lucifron is once again trying to move in. He's blocking Ace of Spades right now. Oh, is he getting him? The stun against Ace of Spades. The Brightwing, another stun hits, and Lucifron with another heroic ability, but it's too late. We have Freds back to business, and suddenly the Hunter is becoming the hunted. Lucifron moves back, but Lowell shows no mercy. Goes in and tries to drop him. He gets away, but it's the Anubarak. The Beetle gets squashed. It's 8 kills versus 8 kills overall. What a nice battle between them there. We had the first catapults trying to take down the core, by the way. The experience is level 20 versus level 19.5, and this game is getting insane. I am loving it. Just like fight for fight, and that extended battle that we just had, that was quite something. The problem, of course, for Nexo is now that with night approaching another 17 seconds, they will still not have the Anubarak up. The Beetle is not going to be back. And without the Beetle, it's going to become very difficult to win a fight in the middle of the map. And also, I feel that we are going to see the level 20 hit any second right now for mYinsanity, and there it is. So they reach the 20. The night falls. We have double resurgence here for Nexo. Currently we have Demonic Forum, we have the big red button taken. Reyna's probably going to go for the Blink upgrade. I would be surprised to see anything else but the resurgence on the Arthurs, as we see Storm Shield picked by Brightwing. Both teams split the map now and go for the seeds again. 2 talents not picked yet. There's the Blink, and yeah, Arthurs is of course going to get resurgence. No reason to take anything else but that. They're splitting the seeds, and it's going to be plant versus plant again. So they get that once more. Up to the top left, what are we going to see there? We have the push in with the Knights, so they have at least one lane pushing. Oh, the plant is just now dropping, but here comes that fight, and Uburak moves in for the stun. They're trying to go for Freds. Reyna's Raiders are coming in, and Araragi, oh my god, he's dropped so fast, it's not even funny. Like, that Reyna doesn't stand a chance, and Illidan, how the hell did he survive? We have Anubarak down, but Illidan is paying with his life Uther is being killed too though. Vortex already moving back. Freds is still there. Army of the Dead isn't up anymore. He could get stunned here. Lucifron is jumping back. It's still 3 heroes that are trying to move in there. What about the... Can he actually move in, Lucifron? Maybe drop that Odin. He gets polymorphed. Lucifron, and he wants him. He really wants him. Here comes the Anubarak moving in once again. Lucifron is so low, but he should have Resurgence up as well. Paltan is moving in with a fly in and the barrel roll, and Shinobu, no, he's not going to survive. He already used his dash, and down goes the Tychus, the Brightwing being killed as well. 12 kills against 10. Lucifron actually got that kill here, and it looks like those Knights might be able to take down the keep. Where's the Arthurs? No, he's moving in the last second, saving that keep, but the plan is now on its way. They have a plant ready and they are starting to use it. They're moving across the map with it already, and this is bad news for mYinsanity. Oh my god, this is getting nasty. Level 21 versus 21, another 30 seconds on the Brightwing, on the Tychus. LOL versus XT is already moving in. They're straight going for the bottom. They want to core it. They don't want to even bother with one of the keeps. They want to go straight for the core here. Only 3 heroes that can defend. Will they be able to pull that off? It's a 5 versus 3, 20 seconds on Brightwing and Tychus. They're going straight for it. 21-minute plant does so much damage, and they are trying to drop the heroes one by one. LOL versus XT is being attacked here. Reina's Raiders are trying to drop him. Vortex is also extremely low. The plant, it's still starting to do its damage. Down goes the Tacita, but only 50 points on the core. 30, only 20. Tychus is back. Brightwing is coming in, but it's too late. It's the GG again as El Nexo takes game number 2 and is now in the 2-0 lead in the best of 5 final of the Rocket vs. Sphere Invitational. El Nexo versus mYinsanity. The best of 5 goes into game number 3, and again it's Garden of Terror. 3 times in a row we have Garden of Terror, and El Nexo is in the 2-0 lead against mYinsanity. Third time's the charm. That's what mYinsanity is thinking right now. To the left side of the map in blue, Vortex on the Tychus for El Nexo, Lucifron on the Arthurs, Grand Paquete on the Brightwing, LOL versus XT again with a Kerrigan, and Paltan on the Tacita. To the right side of the map in red we have mYinsanity with Ace of Spades on the Uther, LOL on the Illidan, Araragi with the Zeratul, and Shinobu playing the Falstad as Freds picks up the Anubarak in this game. So for the 3rd time they face each other on this map. For the 3rd time we have them with an extremely strong lineup here also for El Nexo, and they have again the Arthur's Kerrigan combo, but this time there is no Reina on mYinsanity that they can just like pick off every single time. Interestingly enough, the last pick that we saw for mYinsanity was the Illidan. Didn't go for a Tyrael, which could have comboed very well with the Falstad together with Judgment and Shock and Awe, but they already have the Anubarak for the Initiate. But again, we don't really have that super heavy tank at the front line. The Anubarak can of course like wreak havoc in an opponent's front line, but still, let's find out how exactly they're going to play it here. Of course, Shinobu knows that he's going to be target number 1 in this particular game right now, so he's just waiting, and Lucifron and LOL vs. XT, they're just like sitting tight and they're saying like, yeah, you make one wrong move, buddy, just one move, and those 2 are going to hunt you down 6 days to Sunday. He's only gathering up the experience. Oh, he's trying to extend up to the front, baiting that in, but we have also with Araragi and LOL 1 mercenary camp taken, and this is of course now wasted time for El Nexo. El Nexo is losing time here, and that's why the Arthurs and Kerrigan start to move away. Shinobu is finally in a position where he can start to move out on the map a bit more. We have now in the mid lane the potential to just drop one of the heroes, and Ace of Spades needs to be careful here. There's Palton for the damage. Oh, he moves forward, and here it comes. Primal Grasp. No, he gets stunned first. Here comes the Howling Blast, and the Primal Grasp in the last second. No, they don't need him anymore. Drop the Uther, and down he goes. So it's currently first blood for El Nexo. They get their kill in again. The Knight falls, and therefore Freds and Lowell on the Illidan are going straight for the Hams. Down here we had Araragi, sorry, Shinobu being dropped, so it's 2-0 in kills, but the seed count is much better at this point for mYinsanity. They already have 45 and they did a pretty good job with that, but they fell behind in kills this early in the game already. Lol on the Illidan can actually do a lot against that plant, but the problem is that he apparently did not see Kerrigan coming. Lol moving back as he realized that something's going on, some kind of rotation. And Freds is trying to get away, but that's not gonna happen there. Not with 4 heroes like ganking up on him. Very nice rotations on the map. Nexo is currently playing on a completely different level. At least that's what it seems right now. But mYinsanity is of course not done. They cannot lose another map though. That's the big problem that they have. All that pressure. Here comes once again Grand Paquette on the Brightwing, moving in for the team. They're trying to steal a few seats and they're doing exactly that. They're sacrificing the Brightwing for that. He's trying to get away and he's actually getting shielded by the Tassadar, but dropped after all. 3 kills versus 1. That's currently the score that we have here. 96 seats against 84. So good job by Brightwing after all. Catching those seats that were dropped down at the bottom plant was quite important for them. 2-0 for Nexo. Nexo playing a great series so far, but they need to win one more map. They have the kill count lead, and also they have an entire level. They have the level 7 already, and that's just one of the things that's always amazing to see when you have Nexo playing. It's one thing that also was done very well by SK in a lot of their matches, that they were always up in experience no matter what happened on the map, and yeah, Nexo is doing the same thing. The Spaniards are in a great spot here, gathering up the experience on the lanes, having a ganking squad there as well, dropping a kill to the left, to the right, always finding an opportunity to get just slightly ahead and carry the 10 in. Now the attempt to catch that night camp, oh my god, like that timing, and they get Lowell as well. No, Lowell survives, but the night camp is taken. Wow, that was a very, very close escape though, and even after welling up, he has to be back now, and that's of course losing him a lot of time. Level 7 for both teams. So looking here at the talents once again, we have Zeratul once more with the block being picked up first. We have actually double Envenom on Kerrigan and on the Arthurs. That alone is extremely scary to deal with. The Brightwing here with his protective shield that helps out a lot in addition to what we are seeing from the Tassadar then. And we already have down to the bottom now the mercenary camp started to take. Look at that level advantage. An entire level up basically. They're about to hit level 9 and that means they're gonna get a much faster level 10 as well. So right now Nexo doesn't even have to be aggressive. They can say like, well, we have that lead already. We don't need to move in right now. We can play it like slow. We don't have to risk anything. But they could. They're moving in and oh, that was so close of them getting into the circle before the camp was taken by mYinsanity. But at the end of the day, we still have them dropping the mercenaries here, pushing in the middle with a mercenary camp. The siege giants are there. They're still taking experience down at the bot lane. We have at the top the Brightwing, and there's the level up. Level 10 has been reached, and they are starting to move in. Luciphone actually single-handedly starts the mercenary camp there, and they're jumping in with the rest of the heroes. The mid lane is still being pressured with the first tower going down already, and they are going to take that mercenary camp without even being bothered at all by mYinsanity. It's still the level 10 that mYinsanity is afraid of, and for a very good reason. If you are up against an opponent that has already an heroic ability, you don't want to fight. You cannot fight. You can't do anything there. Vortex is healing up with the first aid, pushing the opponent back, but so far Nexo is not really pushing their advantage with that heroic ability. Instead they are just like trying to put some soft pressure onto the mid lane, only with 3 heroes, not going for a full 5-man rotation, and mYinsanity is meeting them exactly there. At the top though, we have Freds low and Lolver60 is jumping in. That polymorph timing, holy mother of god, that was such a great timing by Grand Paquette and Lolver60. That easy kill, that casual kill, like he just casually walks up to the top and drops the Anubarak, like as if it was nothing. That perfect polymorph into stun comp, not allowing the Anubarak to even move an inch away. And then down he goes. 4 kills versus 1 now. 2-level lead for mYinsanity. Sorry, for Nexo. mYinsanity is in trouble. Here comes the attempt to drop Vortex. Oh, the shock and awe! He doesn't get it. Not even with a shock and awe do they get the kill. All of the heroes welling up again. And of course that is at the end now just time wasted. If they get the kill, then it's all good in the hood, but now the only thing that they did with that is waste time, and that time was used by Nexo to get more seats at the top. There are plans growing for both teams. Down here at the bottom, it doesn't really look like Araragi and his teammates really want to go for the plant. It's just a bit too risky for them now, but this is getting extremely dangerous for them. They are losing so many seats this early in the game already. It could snowball a lot at the end of the day with them just like losing, or maybe even going up against the double plant. Look at that. It's 96 seats that are still remaining after they took the plant. So just like 4 more seats and they're gonna get a second plant after this initial one, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're taking seat after seat after seat, moving in down to the bottom here. Araragi is in position. The plant is moving towards the middle, trying to pressure the mid lane. We have an exchange apparently, as we see Lowell moving to the top. The problem is that down here in the middle, we already have the wall down. So it's going straight for that fort, and that's something that we might not see Lowell achieve in time. Well, actually, I guess he's gonna kill that fort regardless. Oh, nice move here by mYinsanity, trying to drop here, Lucifron here. The Void Prison was actually really well executed, but just not good enough. Didn't have enough firepower behind it to really do the damage just yet. Nice moves here by LOL versus 60, zoning the opponent's team out completely, and they're starting to drop the wall up at the keep. Pushing in for that, as we have the plant moving back. LOL is going in there. The wall is already gone, so very well done by LOL versus 60 and Team Nexo. They are still one talent ahead, but not for much longer. The 13 is going to hit any second now for mYinsanity. The plants are still alive for another couple of seconds, and here comes the Odin form, starting to do its damage, going straight into a Polymorph though. Oh, that shotgun, or at least hit the plant, but it didn't really do as much damage as Shinobu was hoping for. They are down the Uther already, but they're pressuring now Freds as well. Nexo, that is, they're dropping 2, and they try to take Lowell as well. He's using his heroic ability to jump away. Metamorphosis is getting him away from the fight, but he gets dropped anyways. Vortex is there, gets the kill. It's 3 kills against 0. And the next plant is going to be ready in just a bit, but they might not even need that plant to drop the keep. They are just like right-clicking it. Now Araragi is doing what he can to just delay the inevitable, but at the... yeah, that's not going to matter. It's... the keep is down, and that's level 15. Nearly 16 versus 13. Nexo is dominating this game. They are dominating the series, and they are... maybe finishing this with a 3-0. We have them with another plant ready. Here comes Araragi trying to move in, and he gets burned away. Like, he has no chance to survive. He moved in, and Nexo realizes that they have another opportunity to drop a hero, and he just gets melted. That was not even close. Araragi trying to blink away, but those stun locks. We have stun on the Arthurs with the Howling Blast. We have the Carrigan. Then, of course, the Polymorph on the Brightwing. And all of that is timed so perfectly by Nexo that there's not a single second where you can use your escape skills to get away. And now, we're only 10 minutes in, but it's level 16 for Nexo versus level 13, and they are moving in with a plan. Quick look at the talents before we have that encounter. Here comes the Stone Skin for the Tigers, for the Arthurs as well. Another Carrigan is going for the Impaling Blades with increased radius. This is getting so dangerous. We are moving just down to the bottom lane with another fort being attacked, and of course mYinsanity is trying to fight here. They need to do something, but how do they get in a position where they can use that? They're trying to isolate a few of the heroes, and they're isolating the Tacet. He's starting to move in. Here comes the shotgun. Oh, and Ace of Spades, he goes down. Shinobu didn't do enough damage with the heroic ability here. Oh, nice ultimate by then Uther in the end as well. But Freds is about to die. Freds, oh my god, like this is an absolute bloodbath right now. Shinobu is flying away, just barely escaping. But we have the fort being dropped without even a second of remorse or regret. 1 kill against 11. The plant alive for another 30 seconds. It's just like marches in. The Spanish Armada is just killing everything in their path, dropping opponents left, right, bottom and center. And while the plant is pushing in even more, we have the rest of the heroes going for the seeds that have spawned just a second ago. Seeds taken everywhere. That's going to be another plant, of course, for Nexo. Carrigan, she might actually die here. Carrigan is most likely gonna bite the dust. No? What? Jumps away and Carrigan is on... What? Kerrigan is on the run and escapes without being dropped. 100 seeds for El Nexo, and look how many more they are already getting. They are at 140 seeds at this point. Araragi jumping in, trying to maybe get a kill, but there's no way with the Brightwing now just jumping up to the top. They are getting even more seeds. They might get another double plant. If mYinsanity gives up this big terror here, then it's going to be another double plant for El Nexo, and to be absolutely honest with you, I do not think that they can survive that. So mYinsanity has to do something. They have to move in, and for now, El Nexo moves back. They realize that they can't fight here just yet. They are waiting for the Kerrigan, and the Kerrigan is moving in with the plant now. Up there, they're trying to delay, of course, the taking of the plant. The seeds are streaming in for mYinsanity, so it's not going to be the double plant that we were afraid of for them. Nice stun here by the Uther this time. Oh, great Void Prism. They isolate Vortex. He drops the Odin, but he gets attacked, gets shielded by the Tacita. The healing ward is there. Ace of Space drops, and again the drop on the Zeratul and the Nubarak. Oh my god, like the coordination in those battles is just so good. The last second Odin that we just saw from Vortex, long enough to help the, like, just to wait out until the Void Prism drops, and then the immediate shields. Vortex is safe, and here comes El Nexo with such a dominant performance in that third game. They are playing Heroes of the Storm on a different level right now. This is just absolute insanity. They go for the core. It's a 13-minute game, and they drop it easy peasy. The Rocket vs. Sphere Invitational Champion comes from Spain. It is El Nexo with an amazing 3-0 victory against mYinsanity. They take the best of 5 and win the tournament. Congratulations to them. Extremely well played and well deserved.